What's up guys, it's John Carden for Palm Performance Coaching, and today we're going to talk about nutrition. So I've given a little bit of insight into nutrition, lots of different topics and lots of different tips and tricks. So we're going to talk about the 3 common mistakes that I see in nutrition when people start trying to do nutrition on their own. So one is doing too much too soon. Now what do I mean by that? Usually I mean too little calories, too much cardio, and too much training volume and too much training intensity, and maybe the wrong type of training. So too much too soon in that regard is you're trying to basically change it all really quick. So you start off by doing everything when you have nowhere to go. You're doing fasted cardio, you're doing intermittent fasting, you're doing lower carbs, you're doing lower fats, you're doing cardio extra, you're in like a 2,000 calorie deficit, 1,000 calorie deficit. So where you need to start is at the basic. So you need to start with having 500 calorie deficit, start with adding walking or something like that, start with cleaning up your fats a little bit, start with stuff like that. Start with very simple, very easy stuff. Do that for 4 weeks, lose like 4 or 5 pounds, rinse and repeat. Then figure out, okay, let's decrease the calories a little more, or let's increase my workout intensity, let's lower the workout volume. A lot of people, another thing that I see is people doing way too much cardio, way too long of cardio, thinking they need to suffer and do tons of cardio to get their fat loss, weight loss goals. You should be doing some cardio, yes. You should be doing about 30 minutes to an hour of walking a day, just for your own physical and mental health. And also it's great for your heart health, and I think that's something that people neglect. I think it's something that people really need to work on, is like their heart health and making sure that's good, especially if you're in the working out realm, because we don't do a lot of that. Now on top of that, I don't think you should be doing much more than maybe like 3 or 4 HIIT sessions a week after your workout, or on extra recovery days, maybe 2 HIIT sessions. I wouldn't recommend like list cardio all the time other than like your daily hour walk. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't recommend fasted cardio, especially when you're just starting out. I recommend you do some high intensity, hard HIIT sessions, short cardio. I've noticed when people do long cardio, it actually derails their fat loss goals a lot more than I think, or they just don't maintain muscle mass as much as they should. So I recommend like at max 30-minute sessions of HIIT cardio, 2 to 3 times a week at the maximum, plus like your basic list cardio. That's like just for general health, but not cranked up cardio. This is like low intensity walking. Now, on top of that, people do way too much and they jump around too many diets, and they'll just cut out shit that like they sustainably can't cut out. Now, I cut out carbs because I know I eat like an asshole if I don't have carbs, if I have carbs. So I know that for me I have to, but like that won't work for everyone. And I also understand how to get out of it and how to work back and keep everything in an even keel. So for a lot of people, there's very different approaches on what you need to do. So people just need to be realistic and set a good time frame and be consistent. I find not tracking is an issue. But people, when I say not tracking, they don't always grasp what I'm saying with that. So I have a lot of clients that we don't do macro tracking with. We don't even fucking count macros. Fuck, the one girl doesn't even use a goddamn scale. But you know what? We're still getting results. We're still seeing progress. We're still seeing progression. Why? Because you're still modifying factors, and we're still tracking. We track habits. So there's a checklist for her to do every day of the habits. And as long as we get through the habits, and we generally follow the rules that we have in place, and we track those rules, things will get better. And that's a big thing for people, and a lot of people don't do that. You gotta follow the rules, you gotta stick to the habits, you gotta build that consistency. Now that takes time, and a lot of people aren't willing. They don't think they need to track anything, and I'm telling you, you have to track something. Maybe the scale's not the right metric. You gotta find metrics that appeal to you, that you can use, but you need to keep because it keeps you focused. And then the last kind of topic on this is basically just not holding yourself accountable. And a lot of people that's where a coach comes in. So you got me, I'm quite a good coach, I like to think. So You know, there's also other coaches out there that are just as good, and probably some that are, you know, probably better, depending on what your goal is and what you want to do, right? So, you know, I'm not saying hire me, but, you know, there's a lot of people out there, there's a lot of people that are able to help you and find what works for you. So that's what I'm suggesting to people. I don't really give a shit what type of diet you do. I don't give a shit if you track macros or what. I'm just saying, track something, set realistic goals. So have a goal that goes in line with what you're tracking as well. Don't just make it about your look. Make it something physical. Have fun with it, and that's it.